This fire in my head got me on edge. I'm going out tonight, faded on a thread. Don't know what's next, I wanna feel alive. I kissed a stranger in a white dress. She put a crown on top of my head. Said every king needs a queen in his bed. I said, hey girl, I'd like to stay here for a while, just you and I. Far from the places we can't get away from. She said, hey boy, I like your style. I'll let you play me for a while. Play me till the sun rises. Play me like a violin. Here with you now, not coming down. Leave my insanity up here in the clouds. Look what we found, oxygen we can breathe. Let the madness slowly undress. Rip the mask off over our heads. We can dive down deeper instead. I said, hey girl, I'd like to stay here for a while, just you and I. Far from the places we can't get away from. She said, hey boy, I like your style. I'll let you play me for a while. Play me till the sun rises. Play me like a violin. Play me till the sun rises. Play me till your hands give in. Play me like a violin. Play me till the sun rises. Play me till you can't hide it. Play me like a violin. Play me till the sun rises. Play me till your hands give in. Play me like a violin. Play me till the sun rises. Play me till you can't hide it. Play me like a violin.
Hey, it's Brennan, and here we are for the final lap guide with the 3 new British DLC tracks. Today we're at Snetterton, coming out the final corner. We'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of the lap. I'm in the Ferrari GT3 Evo today, and the only major setup adjustments I made for this thing was probably the front bump stop range. I increased that a bit, feels a bit better. First corner, we're going to look for the final 2 boards on the left. We're going to break between them, maybe a little bit closer to the first one, but somewhere in the middle. It's a fast first corner. We're going to double apex it, coming near the curb at the start of the corner. Then we're going to coast a little bit, and around about mid-corner, we're going to pick up the throttle again. And then at the end of the corner, we're going to come back to the curb, which we'll see in a second. Here we go. But you want to look towards the inside where the curb is. The curb actually steps up a bit. You don't want to hit that. The car will bounce up and end your lap, probably. You won't want to hit that. We're looking at the number 2 board for turn 2. We're going to brake just before that into the heavy braking zone of the hairpin we're going to enter. Don't really go onto that curb. It sort of pulls the car around, gives you a bad exit. Stay around the white line, and then use that curb, that concrete on exit For this turn, it's a bit of a weird one. You could probably stay in third gear, but I shifted down to second. Brake just before those two signs. Carry as much speed as you can through here, keeping narrow though. Don't accelerate too early, you'll go off and invalidate your lap. But you do want to use a bit of this concrete on the exit, but it's very bumpy. I don't like using it, but it does help if you get it right. Into this hairpin, there is the number 1 board and the number 2 board. You're going to brake about halfway between them, or just before that rubbered in line on the track, if the track's rubbered in. And you want to have a late apex here, curl it around, and just after that pole, that's about where your apex really is. I don't get this perfect coming out of here. I get a little bit slippy and sideways. I probably could have straightened the car up a little bit first before getting the throttle down. But you can use the throttle, depending on what car you're in, you can use the throttle to help rotate out of the corner. I did that a little bit. This one, you don't use a lot of the brake. You only use about half brake, and you use it very quickly. Then you coast through here. Don't go too much. You can use the curb, but don't go into that grassy bit. You'll get flicked up. And on here, you can, same as that one corner before, you can use a little bit of the concrete, but it's extremely bumpy and the car doesn't like it. Here we go, we're going to brake alongside those signs, or maybe just a touch after it. And this corner, we don't have any issues of having a bumpy car going over the curb. So use quite a lot of this curb, just don't go too far over the white line because that will be invalid. And using the throttle a little bit to help rotate out of this corner, but don't get too much oversteer because you'll have a terrible exit that way. I get away with it here, fairly smooth, and then back to the outside of the track where the end of this green stuff is. It's going to be your braking point. You don't want to use too much brake here as well, just a quick nip of the brakes. And then throw it in with a lot of speed, let the front of the car grip up again. You're going to have a late apex again, and you don't want to get the rear slipping out too much on this corner because it'll cost you your exit speed. I get a little bit sideways there, but thankfully it wasn't too bad, so I'll get away with it. Don't really go into the green stuff on the exit there, it's quite bumpy. So we're on the second long straight of the track now, coming up to one of the trickiest sections of the track. It's the final sector. On the number 1 board, we can see there we're going to brake a little bit after that and start angling towards the corner. So brake after that, and here you're going to be hard on the brakes. I'm going to slow it down a little bit here. You're going to lift off the brakes as you turn where that curb begins. So you're hard on the brakes now in a straight line. And then as you turn for this curb, you're going to lift off, and then as you straighten up again, you're hard on the brakes, slowing the car down a little bit more. Now here, do not touch the sausage curb, you will mess up your lap. Avoid it, but get close to it. And have a late apex, straightening up the corner as early as you can. Getting the throttle on, you can use a little bit of this exit here. Don't stay out here for too long. Back onto the track, and this one you don't have to brake for. Somewhere around where you start turning in, you're going to lift off. Let it grip up, and towards the end of that little curb you saw on the inside, you start getting on the throttle again. For this long right-hander here, it's really hard to tell you where to lift, but I'd say when the front end's fully loaded, and when you're ready at apex, start lifting off. And in mid-corner, you want to just touch the throttle a little bit to stop you from getting to the inside too early. Then on this this double pole thingy here, third from the last one, you're going to hit the brakes and keep to the right, and then give yourself a nice line for this final turn. You don't really want to use a sausage curb, but it doesn't affect you as bad as that last one. Using all the concrete on the exit here, well, don't really go any wider than that. It'll probably be invalid. But I got away with it there, coming out the final corner, and that's a lap at Snetterton. Could have been better. I mean, this is a really, really hard track to get right, honestly. I thought it would be a bit easier. But, yeah, no, it's a fun track. It's just not easy. Mainly because of those really bumpy curbs. Anyway, I'll let you watch this lap without me talking, but stick around. After this lap, I'll show you the pit entrance guide, show you where to brake there, and that'll be the end of this guide. And then we'll have to wait a few months and see if the next track, well, I don't know what the next track will be on ACC, but we'll see in probably a few months. So we'll see you at the end of this lap, and I'll tell you where to brake for the pit stop. Okay, so that was that lap again. Now we're going to look at the pit stop. So we're going to take the final corner as per normal. Then we're going to pull off to the right where the pit entry lane opens up. And then there's a little bit of an off-road, like a very tiny one, just sitting there on the right. You're going to brake right at the end of that, just after the concrete ends, and then you're hard on the brakes. And that should be 50 kilometers per hour at the line. So I think that's the last thing I need to say for today. I probably missed some minor details here and there. So if you need a...
My camera isn't working. What a surprise. There we go. It wouldn't be a Ricky DC stream without my camera dying at some point, right? Anyways, here. We are here watching a sprint race. In fact, two of them. At Snetterton. That's going to be interesting. See how that one plays out in the end. We'll see Snetterton is a track that isn't really used much in Assetto Corsa Competizione, one of the least popular tracks in the entire game. But it is a fun one, in my opinion. And, well, today we're going to be watching the Silver and AM split here. I'm just going to double check here, because I don't think there's a lot of people in the server. There's 22, so should be good for quite a bit of action. I was expecting a little more, but obviously there's two splits, so in the end it's not going to really matter much. Yeah, I was told to kind of keep it chill for the broadcast, so we're not going to go full sweat comms like I did 2 hours ago on my own Twitch channel. But yeah, it's going to be fun whenever there's... My PC is making a lot of noise. That's not good. I better start cleaning that thing once in a while. Might be a good idea. I think we'll manage. It seems to be alright for now. Anyways, how's everybody doing, lads? I am reading chat as well, so if you've got anything interesting to say, feel free to tell me. And then we'll be fine, I guess. Alright, the wait time is over for free practice, so we're soon going to head into the qualifying number 1. It's going to be a 10-minute qualifying, then a 30-minute race, and we're going back to qualifying, and then we're doing another sprint race. Both races will be 30 minutes with no mandatory pit stops, so it'll be an interesting one. Snetterton's already a pretty underused track, quite narrow. Don't know if it's as bumpy as Ulton Park. I assume not, but still not going to be smooth as... What's the saying again? Smooth as a baby's bottom or something like that? Hey, Alex, how's it going, bro? How are you doing, mate? I saw you weren't on the... Wait, when are you doing pit skill, Alex? Because I saw you on the pit skill stream the other day, but now I saw somebody else, so... I don't know the story behind it, but I will. Right, 2 minutes to go. I'll be seeing all the action. Most drivers are already in anyways. Just one driver still on the grid. It's Chris Policott is the only driver still driving. And we should be getting underway soon. I'm still sick, so don't expect too much of me here. Thank you. There you go. Session has ended. Therefore, we are gonna return into garage. Take drive. Perfect. Tab out of the game, and then on broadcast control as well. Control, perfect. PC, and then turn on the sound as well. That might be a good shout. Oh god, again. It happened again, where my wheel decided to do something really weird, and then crashing my camera on the spot. It's not my wheel, actually, it's my USB port. I just don't think they can handle the pressure. Saturdays, mate, right? Wednesday is Terry, Monday is Roy. Okay, well, I'll make sure to not forget that. Knowing me. Yeah, I don't know why that happens from time to time. But anyways, let's head into the gameplay, shall we? Right then, officially underway. More than enough drivers on the grid, that's for sure. I'm excited to see this one unfold. 10 minutes of qualifying here, so very limited time to get your laps in. This is called Mooney. Was gone for the BMW M6, it appears. Interesting choice of livery as well. So I'm curious to see if that thing can... oh. Yeah, strange. It is pretty strange, but I don't know the exact thing, but what happens is that every single USB device that I have plugged in will just stop working. So my theory is that it's like too much to handle for the PC. Maybe it's not strong enough USB port-wise. Maybe one of the devices is faulty. I've got my microphone, I've got my webcam, my keyboard, of course. The mouse is plugged into the keyboard. What else is there? My headset, of course, my webcam, and my wheels. There's quite a lot of it. Maybe that's also the reason why, to be fair. Split 1 or 2. This is split 2. There aren't many drivers in split 1, so I'll still do the split 2. You were correct when you say it's split 2. Here's one of the Policotts here. A little bit more variety in this league now that we've got the M6s, we've got some Bentleys around. And we've still got a laggy server on my end. I recognize everyone. I don't recognize everyone, but quite a few by now. Still working on it, but one that I for sure will always remember is Aaron Sparks. Number 525, and also most likely my taxi driver to and from Donington Park, so I know he can race, but can he drive? Those are two very different things, well, depending on who you ask, of course. There's Nathan Warren, an OG Bentley user. I believe he's been on that thing since... Yes. Hey, you're covering me, lol, sorry, yeah. Yeah. This man has been on the this car for ages now, so a fair play to him. But if you look at the broadcasts, I've actually been doing a bit more broadcasting on my own channel now, finally starting that up again. Obviously, I always used to do Amigos on there, I used to do some other ones on there. It's all been moved to their own separate channels, so therefore my channel now gets zero action, basically. It's a shame, really. Just see how much he's struggling to keep the car under control. That thing is heavy and, of course, very bad on the turn, at least. So that's what he's told me right before the stream. 7 is temporary. You also see his clone in the back. Quite a few drivers out there with similar liveries. Here's Stephen Wilson. We've seen him in Amigos, of course. This time, still in the Walkenhorst Motorsport. Jeez, guy, what a tongue twister that is. Here's Dave Thompson, still running the M&M's livery. You know what? People are getting creative with these levers, which is something that I can always admire. Here's Adam Vitasso. Slovakian driver. It was nice to see a little bit more variety on the track. I mean, because, well, first of all, it would be boring if everybody was in the same car. But this time we've also got quite a big variety of drivers. Lots of Italians, British drivers. And obviously we've got some very exotic drivers out there in the league. We've got a Lost Dane, Austrian driver. We don't see a lot of those in Amigos, I believe. Then again, how many African drivers do they have in this league? Probably 0. Whereas, if I'm not mistaken, there's one in Amigos. Samuel, what was the last name again? It was a very African last name, but I don't know it on top of my head. Okay, we need to push for that more diversity here, and diversity of skill level is also quite a big difference. Oh yeah, I gotta make sure that I swap over, by the way, to the Rexine a little bit. Derek Walsh was fair wide, but at least his livery loads now. It didn't before, but this time it does. It's a very creative livery. I recognize the logo, but of course I could be mistaken. I'm trying to figure that one out, but I can't. Maybe somebody can enlighten me. Be very much appreciated here. Anyways, 4 times getting in now. 147.1 is the time to beat. Set by Barata. It's his driver, Pedro Barata, the Portuguese driver. Be real quick. Ooh, Adam Vitasso, quite wide. Not gonna help the lap time. Round tap, and of course no improvement from him this time round. Just Walker on the pits. I was meant to swap to Angelo Orlando. Pretty sure he's named after the city. Or the other way around, of course, not entirely sure. Okay, he'll take it. P5 for now. So many drivers across the grid now. Pedro Barata dethroned by Mark Healy. And immediately takes a spot back anyways. Interestingly enough, there's a lot of groups here driving kind of together, but also kind of apart. Like, you can see there's like 3 big groups of people all driving together. Well, let's take some distance. Well, it's bound to be busy on track. Here's Chris Polikov. What's the line? 6 fastest at 147.407. I think he'll be happy with that. Here's Guy Perez. My favorite livery in the game, the Garage 59 livery. Such an absolute stunner that car is. Now we see there's many drivers here, all driving together. This is one of them. Aaron Sparks passing the BMW E6. And, well, not improving, unfortunately, on that lap. There's still a couple minutes to go. Definitely far from perfect. Here's Nuno Marquez. P4 at the moment. Looking to improve on that. And he will. A 146.8. Here's Mark Healy again. Takes pole position away one more time. how close can it get really? Florian Horvath taking a sweet time to properly line up for the last flying lap he'll get to do. Here's Chris Pollico. Driver in the number 29 car finds himself in P8. About 10 seconds on the clock. It's going to head over towards the straight. Possibly the last time, depending if he can reach the finish, yes or no. I think just about as he can. So let's find the driver behind him. Should be finished, however. Guy Perez, one more shot at completing his lap as well. But you're not going any faster here. So now we see most of the drivers here coming in. Sparks not finishing the lap here. Alan Vitasso, however, will. The car ahead of him, the number 111, has also come in. Oops. And it's Darren Walsh. Tarek Walsh, excuse me, not Darren. See, why do I confuse him with Darren Christie here? There's absolutely no reason for me to, but I will. And Marquez, can he get back to pole position? Yes, he can, at least provisionally. Angelo Arano is yet to come in. There's Mark Keeley. Pushed over to the second place. Angelo, 4 fastest in the end. He'll take it. He'll definitely take it. Here's Aaron Holloway. Goes 9 fastest. No improvements afterwards. Here we wait for the last driver to come in. Florian Horvath. Austrian driver finishing his lap, and that should be qualifying coming to an end. And indeed it will be. Perfect, perfect. Now it's just a matter of waiting till we get over to the race. Yeah, I'm excited for this one, lads. I really am. Snetterton got drivers of a lot of different skill levels. This can only be a good lot of fun. Well, let's get out there. Don't have all day. What's going on over at the channel? What's going on the League of Legends channel in Senshi Esports? Holy shit. People that don't know me, I also stream for them, so make sure to check them out. They don't do sim racing yet at the moment. So yeah, if you're interested in Counter-Strike, or League of Legends for that matter, check them out as well. Twitch.tv/Senshi_esports. You'll see my my happy face appear there once in a while. You're all knowing what I'm doing with my mouth, by the way. Eating these little things. Need them badly to ensure that my throat survives. Right, perfect. Let me change that around now. Target race 1. Thank you. Hop over. Perfect. Now I should be set up. I've never done this instant recording thing before, but we'll definitely manage. Waiting for everything to start here. What are we waiting for? Elliot Levine. Also, there's a pit requirement for today's race. Oliver Anderson says there's 5 stops at a minimum. Well, I wouldn't recommend so. Free to, of course, pit every 2 laps if you wanted to. Wouldn't be a viable strategy, I think, but say, fair play to them. Maybe you can manage, I mean... Give it a go. I'll happily watch as you do that. They then have last 30 minutes of drive through and speeding in the pits. Nice one, Elliot. Good job. It's a matter of waiting here. You guys are as excited as I am. Quite a lot of viewers have come out here today to watch, so yeah. Now if we got more of Snetterton and those kind of tracks, right? It doesn't make a lot of sense logistically because they're too small, but it does make for some very good racing. I just wish that they did BTCC and British GT on the same day. That would be so much fun. But I guess that's not happening anytime soon. Just combine it with TCR or something. And I would be able to see more during, well, during my trip to the UK. Only 3 months. Well, 4 months to be fair, but really can't wait. Gonna be a lot of fun, I think. No race chat, says Aaron Holloway. Is not very happy with, well, the banter, I guess. I don't know, I thought he was a fun person, but I guess not. Alright, a minute until we get going. I wish I could click on the drive button so I could swap over, but no, that's not happening, is it? 21 drivers, 1 is left. Now, who is that? I'm trying to figure it out, but I barely know any of the drivers, so... And I guess I can check if both polycots are here, but... I see one polycot. Where's the other? Yeah, they're both there, so it can't be them. Perfect. Now the button finally can be clicked. Therefore... What did I click? Not what I meant to click. What's going on? Perfect. Alright. Right, there we go. We are ready to start off a 30-minute race here at Snetterton. And we're off. Well, let's see what that looks like from the heli, of course, like we always do. Gonna be a little bit of a messy one, I think. Especially considering that's just how this track is built up. Let's stay with Elliot Devine, one of the American drivers on the grid. I believe he's the only one in this league, but I could be mistaken. Closer to the line now. And
Give it all
we
you
are
can.
ready. And interestingly enough, the pit window is bigger than the race itself, but we're going to be fine, I think. Elliot Levine seems to make it through for now. Everybody seems to be doing quite alright here. No big incidents at the beginning. It appears that everybody's made it through, sure. Some drivers have lost or won a couple position, and that is Oliver Anderson. Finds himself facing the wrong way, but all the other drivers have made it through successfully. It's never a great start, is it? I do find it interesting to see that most of the drivers here, we put the sound down a little bit by the way so you can actually understand me. Most of the drivers here have actually done alright on the start. No big incidents, everybody's made it through safely. That's never easy. Oh, there's the punt. It was bound to happen at some point here. The BMW standing on the wrong way. Rejoining can be tricky as well. You want to make sure that you can do that safely, but that's never easy. Well, most of the drivers are finally getting going again, and Derek Walsh into the pit early on. Looks like he's not come out yet. That's interesting. I wonder what the reasoning behind that was. He was doing quite alright in the qualifying. But it is what it is, I guess. Currently watching Florian Horvath. We know he's good. We know that he can drive. No surprises there. It's now a matter of waiting. So everybody finishes their first lap. Now you can see that, well, the pitted drivers have been pushed back. I wonder what the reasoning behind them not starting from the grid is, and I wonder why he's actually not come to a move at all. And it's two drivers, it's McLean as well as Derek Walsh. Maybe we'll see them join the second one. Alex Vitasso in the background goes quite wide. Pushes the grass a little bit, but managed to recover. So good for now. Oliver Anderson. Now, he isn't at the back anymore, thanks to the incidents that's happened behind him. So maybe a chance to recover off the roll here. It's currently Nino Marquez leading, and there you see three very similar liveries. It's Nathan Warren, Chris Polico, and Andy Polico all involved in that little train, but you can just see how big and bulky the Bentley really is compared to the others. Look at that stint. They're all looking so beautiful, I think. Obviously, this is a little shorter than I'm used to. I mean, I've done the 5 hours for Amigos Racing League, and I've also done the... I believe it was the... Yeah, the regular races were like 90 minutes, so... That's nice. Means that eventually the races are gonna all come back together. Start qualifying too, and then it should just be close up, so any incidents will be disregarded. And obviously the weight of one race also is a little bit less, so if you find yourself all the way at the back, you have a good second chance to still make some points. Derek Walsh as well as McLean finally fight themselves out of the pits, but at least they're driving. That's something. Just wonder why it took them so long. Maybe somebody in chat has an explanation. Ooh, who is that? Going very, very fine. It's Janis Nazarek. Able to rejoin the track, luckily. At least he did. That could have been real dicey, but... it looked alright there. Still amazes me how much control they have with their cars, right? It's nothing like what I'm used to. Here's Mooney headed into the pits. No mandatory pit stops as far as I'm concerned. That's the format, of course, differs from Amigos. So then maybe it might. you can see as well, some groups are forming here. McLean also back into the pits. And Orlando charging down. Roberto Miglioli right behind. They're bloody rapid, but considering they're both M4 drivers, I don't think they're going to be fighting each other to death here. It's a stupid decision, especially if you want to do well as a team. Oh, that's awkward. And Angelo Orlando finds the barrier. Spins around to make things even worse. Now finally makes it back onto the track, but he's got quite a bit of front end damage, I'm afraid. And even worse, he finds himself all the way at the back now. Cole Mooney's also driving slowly. It's not been easy for either of those drivers here. Cole Mooney already getting out of the way, of course. Want to ensure that you don't hold up anything else. So once again, finding himself lapped already. BMW M6 is in no way a competitive car, by the way. So when they bring it out there, it earns massive respect to me. Especially steering in can be tricky. Look at how slow he's going there. Wants to make sure that, you know, doesn't get in the way for other drivers. And that makes sense, right? It's the worst possible scenario. But you see he's driving real slow now. Just onto the grass now, ensuring that, well, he's not a bother to anybody else in the race. Because that's the most important thing, of course. Making it as fair as you can. So, back markers, well, eventually you're just going to have to pass them. That's just how it is. Yeah, definitely not helping out there. Here's Roberto Miglioli. Chasing down the M&M's BMW M4. And now we see Orlando with a drive-through as well to make matters even worse. Finds himself with a drive-through penalty. Here's Mark Healy, still second place, charging the field, and in P2 I think you can say he's done a good job. Maintained his position, it's still pretty close to Nunes as well, so Marquez, sorry. With that drive-through, of course, Mooney might be able to overtake again, but he's gone into the pits. Perhaps to repair his car, I'm not entirely sure. Currently we're watching Nathan Barron. I love watching Nathan Barron. Because I respect the fact that he's still going in the BMW, in the Bentley forever now. And hasn't ever changed. It's, well, very much appreciated, of course, that, you know, people put in those efforts. Pedro Barata. Florian Horvat, the car ahead, has actually made up one position. Barata was the one starting P3, and the BMW now finds himself in that position, whereas Barata still definitely can go for the hunt, of course. And believe it or not, we're almost a third through the race already. That feels very weird to say, by the way. Not something you see every day. Here's Alessandro Germani. He's 16 for the time being. Quite a bit of damage as well on his BMW. I believe the one he's using is a default livery. Still looks good though, I gotta admit. But oh, that's a little bit of a spin. Luckily he can recover in time, so we're all good. And I've been really lucky with spectating the people that tend to crash out. Or maybe I'm the reason they're crashing out. I'm not entirely sure myself. Let's hope it's the first. Commentator's curse is a real thing, of course. People always say, hey, you know, the commentator's curse isn't real, but no, it most definitely is. By the way, I just realized as well, is the sponsor box a little bit too tiny? Or is it just per logo different? Yeah, no, it's just different per logo. The different sizes, so... yeah, I think it's fine. But we'll leave it for the time being. It's all good. Doesn't really matter too much here. Now as we watch Andy Pollico, you can actually see that, well, Nathan Warren is still ahead of him. Behind him is now Elliot Levine. You see, well, there's just tires everywhere. All the bollards have been hit through. That's happened. The Bentley of Nathan Warren goes quite wide, but doesn't lose too much pace there, I think. So far, no big incidents after that one turn one thing, so I think you can be very happy with how things are going at the moment. And there was a drive-through penalty to serve, of course, but at least there's only been 2 or 3 major incidents, and that's about it. So standards are quite high here, apparently. That first split 2 server. Now I don't obviously know how things are going in the professional splits over there. This is the silver and the AM splits we're watching. Which is kind of hard to tell which one is which because they're all marked as AM cars. But still, you know, my point stands. Now, I remember very clearly that when we had the multi-class events, that then it would make a lot of sense to have those colors in properly, but this time I guess we're gonna have to do it without it, because why would you make it easy for the broadcaster, right? Why would you? There's Alessandro Germani. Taking board with him a little bit. 8/10 of a gap to the driver in front of him. That's Adam Pitasso. Driving the basically all-white Lamborghini. It's a nice looking car, gotta admit. Sparks finds himself in a battle for P12 at the moment here, coming down the main straight. They all are. The Bulldogs driver chasing with quite a small gap here. Obviously the field of view there was a little bit different and therefore might have looked a little bit weird, but in the end it's all good. Aaron Sparks, he's doing great. He's currently in P13. He started 2 positions behind that. Turns out the old man still got it off the roll. Perez right behind in that battle as well. He's lost 1 position. And that still definitely in the fight here. Now behind the BMW M4 of Alessandro Germani. Interesting to see that one unfold later on. The battle for first is still going on, by the way. It is Nuno Marquez as well as Mark Healy right behind, and then there's quite a big margin towards the rest. So Florian Horvath not really in contesting for that spot, at least not for now. Nuno Marquez seems to manage it quite well. Now it's definitely interesting to see as well that this livery is actually custom made, but it looks very professional. I really like how that looks. Not being much thought in that, so that's always good to see. Honestly, sometimes I wish everybody did that, although obviously it's likely not going to be possible.
Not over yet.
Already halfway through, Elliot Levine facing the wrong way, now running slowly, but as a result, lots of drivers have to go off as well. That will shake up the standings a little bit here. McGill gains 1, Levine loses, Sparks and Nazarick both gain. It's Thompson to come out the worst here. Oh, that is Derek Walsh into the wall. What is happening overall? I don't know what's happening. We were doing so great, lads. Oh, that's a shame. Here we see a disconnect as well. I was too slow to see who it was, but one of the drivers just disconnected. I'll be trying again into the second race, of course. I think he lost like 10 positions and a rage quit. I'm not entirely sure who it was, but well, that happens sometimes. Here's Stephen Wilson. There's Aaron Holloway. Aaron Holloway. I mean, I can only say kudos to this man. The continuous improvement this man has shown is incredible. It's the only word I've got for it. It really amazes me what this man is doing. See, I've been following him quite a bit since Amigos season 11 or 12. Don't know when he exactly joined. Like when I first got into a Assetto Corsa Competizione commentary. Perez looking to make a move on Adam Vitasso, but simply no space. The driver will stay ahead of the Frenchman, at least for now. Also, the Garage 59 livery gives you 10 more horsepower, so maybe he's using that to his advantage. We see that livery being a fan favorite too. Never heard anybody say that they dislike it. Aaron Holloway has been passed by Stephen Wilson. It was bound to happen at some point, but we see Aaron Holloway not giving up and still in a very stable P5, so not expecting bad things to happen. Alessandro Germani though, 15th position. 22 drivers left in the race. We started with 21, ended up with 23 in the end, and now back to 22 we go. Here's Dave Thompson. Not very often we see a M&M's livery. Team 24/7 Racing. His team is representing. Maybe that's his own team. Not entirely sure, but test on the name, so I might as well point it out. Just like Aaron Holloway's representing Blonde Bombers, whatever that may mean. Here we see Pedro Barata coming in. So is Angelo Orlando. Obviously there's no mandatory pit stop in these races, so in the end it doesn't really matter if you come in or not, although obviously it's gonna cost you time, so I wouldn't recommend doing so, but if you got damage it might be worth it. There's Andy Policott. So the Ferraris and the Bentley have found themselves again. It's almost like they're driving together as a team, you know, all waiting for each other. But no, just pure coincidence. And now is the Bentley leading, however. Ferrari's chasing behind. All such similar liveries. I must say that looks really good. A brilliant design, that's what it is. Stephen Wilson gains another position, now in third. Florian Horvath has lost a bit of time, but Stephen Wilson's looking mighty rapid out there. He's in race number 1 here. With 10 minutes on the clock, we are 2/3 through, and ooh, small mistake by Florian Horvath. As a result, we will see the Porsche moving through. Austrian driver making a small mistake that will cost him in the end. See, there's still time to recover. 10 minutes only allows for roughly 6 or 5 more laps, depending on where you're currently standing. But that's obviously not that great. shame though. I know he can do better, and I think he's just slightly out of focus for this. It does make sense in the end. And Marchili is still chasing Nino Marquez, but Nino Marquez is currently simply a little bit quicker here. Laps on 0.6 seconds, though the lap times are very equal. His last lap that Marchili was roughly 1/10 quicker. The best laps are currently less than 1/10 apart, so drivers know what they're doing, that's for sure. That's Thompson as well. We were too late to swap over, but oh, there he is. Alright, he somehow lost a lot of positions and then gained them back. Maybe that's a bug in the program. I thought he disconnected as well, but no, he got teleported back up in the standing, so therefore I didn't see it. You know, it wouldn't be a Ricky stream without things not going right, but well, doesn't matter much in the end. There he goes again. Now he's suddenly down. It's so weird. I don't know what's happening with Dave Thompson, but he appears to be cheating. Elliot Levine doing fine as is. Over P16 is nothing to ride home about, so I think he can do better, especially if you consider that there's only still 19 drivers driving. Like McLean is retired. Christopher McLean is one of them. Pedro Barata has, and Angelo Orlando has as well. I think they'll be headed out on track, and even if they did, they'll be behind by quite a few laps. So maybe we'll see them given another shot in race 2 here. That's what I'm hoping for at least. Guy Perez in the number 13, the number 25 car, and in P13 he finds himself quite comfortable. Pushing in hopes to take over another position here from Dave Thompson. Let's see if the last name brings some extra pace anyways, or maybe it just causes more penalty points, I'm not entirely sure. Man, am I excited for Formula 1 to get going again. I must say I'm not a big F1 fan and never will be, but for some reason I've been craving it a lot. Well, that's touche. Both kind of wanted the space there. Small touch, nothing major, and ooh, there's the bump draft. BMW just keeps it on the line. I think Dave Thompson was driving a little bit slower than usual, and Guy Perez not really ready for it. He seems hungry to get past here. Goes very wide on the exit here and loses quite a bit of pace as a result. Over the grass he goes, and now it will actually be Alessandro Germani splitting him down the middle. So he's lost a little bit here, but still definitely can recover. P14 it is at the moment for the Frenchman. As we now see what's going on at the front, we can see that it's still Marchili in second place. Nothing that can be done really. Seem to be quicker than the rest. Then we have Florian Horvath as well. P5 for the time being. Has made a couple small mistakes, and as a result now finds himself behind Wilson and Holloway. And Holloway is handling the pressure quite well at the moment here. Just to see how that one will play out in the end. We're going to keep an eye on it. And Levine goes to the Slovak driver, that being Adam Vitasso. Actually, I've just noticed as well, is Cole Mooney retired? I think he might have. That's a shame. Means he at least could join the broadcast if he wanted to, but interesting to see why that is. I missed out. I know that he was behind by quite a big margin, but obviously that happens. Colm, if you're in the chat, by the way, let me know what's up. Let me know where you retired, because you were behind by quite a big margin, but you could have like kept it going at least if you wanted to. Gaps are slowly increasing here. Holloway driving away from Florian Horvath and Andy Pollico. Oh, he's gone into the wall. Just a couple positions, struggles to get grip to get the car going again. Finally he's done so. Oh, well, that's a shame. Finds himself in P11 now, loses 5 position. Thanks to that one small mistake. This guy Perez, ooh, same thing once again. We'll see at that point you're just a passenger. Over the grass he goes. Lack of grip over there. Oh well, that's such a shame. Guy Perez down to P16 now, but at least he might finish, which is already worth something. Marquez leading the race still. On half a second we find Mark Healy, and then despite the race only being this short, you can see that, well, the gap, impressively enough, still is like 6 seconds basically to the leader. Oh, 5, okay, but still. My point stands. That's incredible to see, really. But well deserved, that's the only thing that I can say. More drivers here gaining positions over the apparently disconnected car. Andy Pollico loses another. This time to Dave Thompson. Now Alessandro Germani's also back in it. He can definitely give this one a look here. 2 minutes remaining of the race. So getting closer to the final few laps now. Now I must say, I really enjoy the 30-minute sprint format. Definitely makes for exciting racing, right? Less races where just people driving in no man's land, and that's about it, right? For example, there's some drivers here which haven't had coverage at all. I mean, Josh Walker, for example, right? He's just doing his own thing in P17, but because he's not fighting anybody, nobody ever shows him on stream. Same for Oliver Anderson. Well, that livery deserves to have its own attention, of course. It's bright green, Japanese inspired on a German car.
The leader is on the final lap. Give it a final push.
You know, I don't know what else you want me to say about that. It's it's a piece of art. That's what it is. Colm, you've done an immaculate job at that. I don't know if the attention was for it to be good or bad, but it works. Roberto Miglioli, we're watching. Of the Emperor Squadra course drivers. It's a very big Italian clan. I've seen so many members of it. And they all seem very loyal to their brand here, so that's fun to see. "20 seconds on the clock remaining" means that after this lap, it's basically over for everybody here. So if there's a chance to make a move, you have to go for it now. And Pollico goes quite wide. Luckily managed to recover though. Race time officially over. Therefore, looks like we are headed towards the end here. Let's watch Mark Healy as well as Marquez go all the way in their first victory and second place for them. Marquez, he won. Incredible job by him.
Finished the race.
He right behind. And then Stefan Wilson. Well, he was actually following quite close in the end. And Sarah Holloway as well, finishing the race in an impressive P4. I think he'll be happy with that. Florian Horvath having a little bit slower down the straight, but should still be good for P5. And indeed, cruises over the finish. As we now see the first of the Polackots come around. Chris Polakkots will be the first to finish. Nathan Warren right behind. And oh, we got people are teleporting back to the pits. And we have Nathan Warren, Roberto Miglioli, Azarak, Aaron Sparks in P10. And Adam Vitasso to finish right behind as well. Elliot Levine in P15. Oliver Anderson. Well, doesn't even cross the line yet. He goes for a little crash. Very interesting. Will finish in the end though. Now it's just a matter of waiting for Josh Walker to come in. And that should be our first race done of the two, which means we're halfway through the broadcast as well. A little messy at times, but it's fine. Alright, that means I should now go to my program and do something, I believe. Perfect. Should click that and then see what happens, right? Alright, yeah, beautiful. It's actually a very fun incident list. 25 contacts in the entire race. Very interesting. Didn't even know that was a thing, mate. Didn't even know that existed. It's just a matter of waiting until we get going. Should be pretty soon. Everybody's still finished, so well, I guess we can just wait. Talk about absolutely nothing all day. Right, is there anything interesting going on? Football or anything? Not sure. See then. Any motorsport news perhaps that I could go into now? Something happened in British GT, but I forgot what it was, so I'll read it out to you because I've got nothing better to do anyways. Never mind. Changed my mind. The server's starting. Okay, I guess that's not happening then. I'll put the sound on again. Qualifying it is. Guess that happens from time to time. Well, that was the result of that then, the first race. Impressive stuff. Let's head into the proper view. Maybe get underway. Alright, here we are again. Almost covered the entire thing with my what's it called? watch Aaron Sparks for a bit as he makes his way through. By the way, somebody needs to tell Com that when he types to me, he doesn't need to do so in all caps, of course. Does it every time, and every time I'm confused as to why he does it. Now, of course, in no position to judge here, but it's a little bit awkward. Drivers are looking for space at the moment. That's the main thing you need. Space both ahead and also behind. And you kind of wait for your turn, which was going to be interesting because some drivers are already, of course, doing their, well, practice laps, their first laps. Time should be coming in soon. You see that big Bentley make his way around. Nathan Warren. Yeah, BMW should get out of the way, but Nathan Warren goes very wide. You can say goodbye to your lap time, I'm afraid. Don't think it's going to be improving anymore. Well, that makes a lot of sense, right? You've lost so much time there. Oh, is this just your first lap? So maybe that will change. Mark Healy goes off the track even. Here we see Florian Horvath as well. Starting with an unfortunately invalidated lap. Doesn't count in the end. Oliver Anderson's back in and still some drivers missing. I don't know if Cole Mooney, for example, is coming back into this. I'm afraid not here. Josh Walker struggled a bit in the first race. I think he was the victim of an unfortunate incident. First time still coming around. It's Barata once again. 146.960. Already below the 147 mark. Christopher McLean hits the ball very, very hard. Immediately back into the pits he goes, of course. No point in running qualifying with a lot of damage. Aaron Holle once again doing a top job at that 6th position for now. We'll see if it doesn't improve. We will see him getting pushed down a bit later, but as for now, that's once again a good start by him. He's been having a wonderful race weekend. I mean, it's not really a weekend, but race day, whatever. He finished very well in the first race, looking to reproduce similar results into the next one. Here is Angelo Orlando crossing the line. His first time, and that will be a 147.242. Earns him a 4th position, at least for now, so it's a promising start for him as well. Stefan Wilson, driver following behind. .146.7 earns him 1st position, and it doesn't look like any of the drivers crossing the grid now will change that. Here's Chris Polico. Using the absolute maximum of track, maybe a little bit more than he wanted to. I think he'll still be fine. 9th position after a small improvement for him. We have a lot of drivers to cover here, all coming in at the same time. Will be tricky to try and catch up to them all, but one of the most important ones is Alessandro Germani. Only good enough for 4th position here, as it will be Marquez to take pole position provisionally. Here's Aaron Sparks. P7 it is for him, at least for now. Christopher McLean back on the pit with this slow lap. I'm not expecting too much of that, at least for now. But you watch Elliot Levine instead. He's actually invalidated this lap, so that's not going to be any better. Well, at least McLean finds himself with a lap. That at least means he's not starting last, because there's surely somebody who doesn't set a proper time lap in time. 2 less drivers than we started with in the first race, although some drivers started from the pits, of course, so it's not really a fair comparison, but albeit so be it. And Horvath. He was actually doing really good, and he still does very good when it comes to qualifying. 146.6. It's mainly the late end of the race where he struggled a little bit here. It's from McLean once again off the track. Struggling on Snetterton quite a bit. I don't blame him, to be fair. It's a tricky track. Once again finds himself stopping. It's going to be tricky for him to set his last flying lap here. I mean, he'll make it, I'm pretty sure, to the finish line. But then, you know, he has to do well afterwards, because he's only got one more shot. And that's a mistake, a rare one at that. Pedro Barata facing the wrong way around here. Just notice as well, he's actually got similar livery to Nuno Marquez, but just different colors. That's very well done. I've noticed this were the same, and as long as McLean doesn't move, it's safe to say that he won't be getting a better qualifying lap in. And indeed, let's call it quits. He's for qualifying, so starting from the back, he will be quite a big margin here. But Oliver Anderson, as well as this man, Josh Walker, both haven't set a valid lap time. Seeing his last lap was invalidated for Josh Walker. Interesting to see how that one plays out in the end. 25 seconds left. Aaron Sparks resetting into the pits as well. So will Germani and so will Florian Horvath. So we should be headed into the end of qualifying here. And very little drivers still on track, actually. Jonas Nazarek also going silent, I think. Headed back into the pits. Now we see Derek Walsh, the next driver, to try and improve one more time. But as the Irishman goes very, very wide, finds himself facing basically the wrong way. Mark Healy then. Great result in the first one, but definitely not at the front when it comes to qualifying. Pushes himself up to P5, so similar to where he started last time around. Here's Andy Polico. P13 it will be for him. Some drivers still on the grid. Elliot Levine is one of them. American driver representing... Well, sorry, not representing. Indy BMW M4 GT3. Finishing P11. Nathan Bourne then. Can he improve? No, not quite. So, should be headed towards the end of our session here. There's still 2 more drivers on the track. One of them is Stefan Wilson in the 456 BMW. And he puts on a pole position. Wow. 146.3 for Stefan Wilson. Yeah, good luck, Roberto Miglioli. I don't think you're beating that, my friend. However, you can give it a go here. Last lap, will it be a small improvement? Yes, it will be, but not enough to get an extra position in. Therefore, we'll be started in the race quite soon. Well, that was cool. That went really well. However, now time to race, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be the most important part of this last race, well, weekend, I guess you can call it. should be teleported onto the track quite soon. Interesting enough, I saw that Colm started playing PUBG here. He's done for racing. Seems to be his new obsession, PUBG. Wondering what he finds so interesting about that game. You should head up to the CS hype train, man. That was good fun. I love that game. Should be getting ready soon. I wonder if that's why he wanted me to record the incidents, so that he could play PUBG. Well, makes a lot of sense all of a sudden. Right, there we go. Now let me swap around the Google thing just to make sure that, things are working as they should be. 4 minutes until we get going, so pretty soon we will. And this time, got Stefan Wilson on front. Right next to him, have Holloway, Horvat, Marquez, Orlando, Marchili in P7, Germani, Nazarek, and Migioli right behind that, all around our top 10. This will be interesting, I think. Oh, my cat. What the hell? That's not a good sign. My cat's making that kind of noise. Hope it wasn't. All right, 2.5 minutes to go. Now we should be getting on the way. Sorry, I was just replying to some messages real quick. Believe it or not, I'm actually a very busy man at times. To minute 20 it is. Oh god, what's going on? Oops, I clicked something I wasn't supposed to. What happened? Okay, looks like everything's alright. Okay, no stress. I don't think I have that bound for this game. It was a little messy, of course. Now, to go, I shall turn up the volume again. Let's swap over to the scene, shall we? Waiting for seconds until we go driving, and then obviously we're doing our rolling start as we usually do. Curious to see how that one's gonna play out. Alright, and there we go. Aaron Sparks looking to start from the pit on this one. And there we go, we are on the way. The pit window's open, but it's also green light, which is the most important part. Don't know why. The other one had priority, according to the race engineer. Ooh, small touch there, Elliot Levine. Takes it from behind, perhaps not what he wanted there. I'm sure didn't ask for consent either. And there it is for Guillem. Oh, Roberto Miglioli goes all the way across. Finds himself into the barrier at quite a high speed as well, so gonna be quite a bit of damage. There we go, everybody else makes it across safely, relatively at least. It's only Aaron Sparks to slot in from behind. I don't know why he started from the pit exactly. Things have been alright for now. Sorry, I was doing something else. Yeah, I'm quite busy with some other things as well in the process, so I was actually initially gonna decline the offer to cause, but it's be better to have this kind of a broadcast than, you know, no broadcast whatsoever. I hope you guys understand that. Here we see Oliver Anderson. The reason I'm shining my lights on him is that he's actually passed McLean. I was myself in P19 in that thing. Here we see Barata head into the pits after the first lap. Obviously, it's quite a bit of damage, so he's gonna have to get that repaired. Here's Alessandro Germani then. Follows the other BMW M4 of Elliot Levine. And is in a stable P8, at least for now. The BMW makes it around quite easily. It's quite a grippy car there, front engine, so more on the understeer side than oversteer. Which he can still spin the thing, don't get me wrong, but figure that out the hard way, by the way. There's a reason I'm still 10 seconds off the race pace every time, but oh well, it doesn't matter much in the end there. A little bit of a slide there from Elliott Levine, but I don't think Sandro Germani can use that to his advantage. Not for now. If you look a few corners backwards, in fact 2 of them, you see that it's Dave Thompson leading over Orlando Polico and Dave Warren, that being A Polico, not C Polico. Because he is right behind Dave Warren as well, so that group seems to be quite stable so far. There's an incident towards the back. That's McLean and Anderson both going off. Recovering as well. There's only 20 drivers remaining. And Sparks will take those 2 positions for now, but still finds himself all the way towards the back here. So, replay this time around, but it definitely did not look good. Lauren Horvath in 3rd position. Aaron Holloway in 2nd, but now on the outside for the Austrian driver, gave it a go, but simply no space, at least not for now. It will be Aaron Holloway to hold on to the position, at least a little longer, but there's only 25 minutes left, so sometimes means those things happen here. We see Nino Marquez in the 4th position now, and Mark Healy right behind as well, so that just shows how important it is to get the good laps in the beginning, right? And still very possible for them, but you know, in the long run they're gonna have to go for these overtakes, of course, considering nobody's really tempted to pit there. So strategically there's not much you can do apart from drive fast, right? 30 minutes, drive your tires to the maximum as well. Just remember to take enough fuel, you're fine. No need to plan any pit stops. Of course you can do a pit stop if you feel like you're gonna get damage either way, or if you've already got it perhaps from after qualifying. Here's Angelo Orlando moving up, moving side by side here. You saw what he was trying to do there, but unfortunately doesn't move up the position quite yet. He might have a run on the BMW here. In fact, he's just overtaken him with ease as well. Ooh, that's a touche touch. That's the BMW going very, very wide onto the grass. Dave Thompson there losing quite a few positions, but he's now back on track at least. Well, that's touche. It's the only word I've got for him. The order at the front remains the same for now. It is Stefan Wilson, then Aaron Holloway, then Horvath, then Marquez, then Healy. Interestingly enough, Stefan Wilson is driving away by quite a big margin here. 3.5 seconds already. It's a big gap to be having this early on. I wonder what has happened to Wilson to suddenly come that quick. Maybe he was just being led up by the other drivers, and maybe just was a little bit unlucky in the first race, but he's showing this quick out there. We've seen the Amigos Racing League, we've seen it as well. The guy can definitely drive. Now he's in my split luckily, so I'm able to keep my eye on it. And sometimes I really wish that I had an opportunity to watch in the second split as well. You know, incidents happen. Of course over there it's a little bit less structured, a little bit more chaotic over there, but this is a good friend Alex, or Aces, who was on the broadcast for a little bit, and now we need a new caster as well to try and fill in for that gap. I hope that we can find somebody who's able to do so. So I'll keep my eyes out on it. Doesn't matter if you're experienced or not, but if you're interested in that position, shoot me a message on Twitter or Discord at RickyDC, the ISA1. So R1CKYDC. Ooh, Alessandro Germani spins it. Himself on the racing line, that's always awkward. Managed to get out on time. No, luckily he's avoided it, so we should just be fine for now. But oh man, that could have gone real bad. At least he's going again, that's what matters most. We're fine for now, but oh man, that's a I believe that's Adam Vitasso. Indeed, it is. He's gone off very, very wide there. Oh god, that's even. I believe that is. Yeah, indeed, that's Josh Walker. What is happening, lads? I don't even have words for it. It's such a mess at the moment. Don't know exactly why these things are happening, but. Healy's still in P5. This time a little bit quicker. Ooh, Elliot Levine. It's the race of the spins, that's what it is. Don't know why it's such a mess, but I guess it was bound to happen. P9 for now. 18 minutes on the clock means we're already almost halfway through the race. And once again he finds himself on a polycot sandwich. It's interesting to see how that one goes. I don't know how it always ends up like that, but... Oh, that's another car facing the other way around. Nathan Warren and Andy Polico. We also see Derek Walsh facing the wrong way. Now Elliot Levine goes off as well. What's going on this race? I don't know how to describe this. There's so many cars spinning the wrong way around. It's a little awkward, but it happens, I guess. Here's Nuno Marquez. Still in third place. Obviously came there from P5, so once again you see that some drivers just tend to come out on top there. Aaron Holloway's obviously fallen back a little bit. Now Horvath in second place. Let's see if he can this time stay on the angle like that. Stay on the angle, that's not, it's Counter-Strike, sorry. Stay in that position like that. Yeah, I just came off a Counter-Strike broadcast, lads, which is also why I'm a little bit tired, but yeah. It's very interesting to say the least. Only 18 drivers remain. The session kind of says enough, doesn't it? I don't know why this has all happened, but see, we've already had less people joining, but this time we've also seen more disconnects here, so race coming to an end for drivers. That's already the halfway mark sign as well. That doesn't help for sure. Even more disconnects now. It's not looking too great. Don't know exactly why it's happening, but it's what it is, I guess. Interesting. Dave Thompson, P9 for now. He is second, so it separates him from Chris Pollico. Dave Thompson, P9, still quite far away. Doesn't look like he's catching at the moment either, but just look at how far split everybody is apart. I mean, that's what tends to happen when a lot of drivers spin out, right? For example, the 456, he's already in turn 1, whereas he had to cross the finish line. And that's where the big battles are at the moment, though. It's Florian Horvath curving a little bit, but that's within margins, so that should just be fine. Now you can see as well that McLaren's getting real close. Not close enough yet to go for an overtake, it appears. Seems like they're alright for now. No big changes in terms of but maybe that's the move then. Will it be? It might be. Not decided yet, but he will have the inside line. Is he far enough up there? Looks like Florian Horvath will leave him space. as he's supposed to. Now, we'll be on the inside again. And now the Ferrari's coming around as well. That's the Frenchman of Mark Healy. Not quite there yet, though. And it looks like Florian Horvath will keep second place for now. The Austrian driver is still leading the pack. If this is only split 2, can you imagine how it is in split 1? I mean, we could have merged them for this race, I believe. The pit boxes don't play as big as a part anymore, but yeah, it's impressive stuff, really. Not to mention ever driving that close to others. Well, crashing into them, of course. Now, I've been trying a bit myself in the MX-5 Cups, on LFM and the Clios. What else is there? I don't really know. Yeah, it's not easy around there, that's for sure. Marquez, driver we're aboard with, one of the two Mind the Gap drivers, the Portuguese team, of course. Ooh, that is Florian Horvath going very, very wide, and that's Florian Horvath actually, ooh, on the rejoin. Oh no! That's a big shunt, and Nuno Marquez goes off. Oh no, what have he done? That was the worst case scenario. Now he's all the way back there. Well, Horvath's got damage too. But, oh, that's such a shame. Marquez now all the way back. I mean, let's be honest, he wasn't winning the race anyways, but P2 was definitely very possible still. Now not anymore, I'm afraid. What a shame, what a shame, what a shame. I just marked down another booking for casting, so commentating SGL this season. Supernova Gaming League, that is. I believe that's what they're called. Roger Miglioli still very much fighting for a position, however he's catching up, so curious to see how that one will play out in the end. At least everybody who is in the server is still driving, because otherwise it would be even more boring than it already is. As to say that, it's Elliot Levine going off. Stopping the car. Please don't retire, my friend. No, keep going. Good, keep going. Right, sure. I've been losing some time, but that's it, right? Now you can see as well, Adam Vitasso, he has just let the race leader come true. Obviously, you don't want to get into a fight with the race leader. And Stefan Wilson, I mean, he's doing a incredible job, really. Like, just keeps and keeps on gaining. 11 seconds separates him. Florian Horvath, the second place driver, still. So he made a small mistake under pressure last time around, but this time seems to be handling it quite well. And Mark Healy is the driver to follow him in P3. Obviously Marquez has lost some time. We're aboard with Nathan Warren. Lost the position to Miglioli earlier, and now wants it back. There's, well, not going to be an opportunity presenting itself just yet, as the gap currently is 4/10 of a second. We'll see him come around. They're actually already almost side by side now on the straight. I think he might be ahead by the end of it. Is the overtake onto Miglioli? It might be, and indeed it is. Well done by Nathan Warren to make his way through. Now finds himself at P13. It's just a matter of defending that place now. It goes very wide. Uses the maximum of that track. And every time I see that camera angle, I think somebody's gone into the grass. But no, it's not the case. Nuno Marquez getting closer to Nazarek. Obviously, Nazarek was a name we didn't really mention before. Kind of doing its own thing in the first race. Now it's doing the same on the other. Well, once again, I've got that weird error where everybody moves up one position. But it's just not the case. I don't know what that is. It's probably something going wrong in race control. But so be it, I guess. Minutes left of the race here, so headed towards the end. As we head towards the end there, it looks like nothing has really changed. And 2 minutes left, and should be headed towards the end of the stream there. We're watching Jonas Nazarek lost the position to Nuno Marquez. Still P5, that would be a good result for him. So it's gonna be interesting to see who actually got the most points this race weekend, because, well, in the first race we didn't see Stefan Wilson finish that high up. Horvath's been stable but never at the top. Mark Healy second and now probably third. Nuno Marquez was fourth and first then, so it's gonna be interesting to see the one unfold.
Leaders on the final lap now. Give it all you can.
All right, well, that's the confirmation that indeed the race leaders on the final lap here. Stefan Wilson winning the race with ease, absolutely no competition whatsoever. Here's Jonas Nazarek. Still in P5. I don't think he can catch up to Marquez anymore. Unless he makes mistakes, of course. Because, well, at the moment he is the faster driver. Not by much, though, but... Nazarek lost half a second to him in the previous lap. The lap that he got overtaken. So that makes me believe that, well... made a small mistake, maybe out of focus. That tends to happen then. See, as we head onto that big straight again. Don't really gain much there. You have some slipstream to work with, I guess, but it's about to end there for the race coming to an end now. Last lap. Nazarek still behind. Catching up as much as you can there. Behind the gap driver, definitely a looking livery. Gotta admit it. And here's Stefan Wilson crossing the line, absolutely cruising to the finish there. That's just nothing that could have been done to prevent him from winning, but well deserved it definitely is. Here is Florian Horvath in the second and Mark Healy making his way past third. Great racing from them, and then behind them we have Marquez and Nazarek. It will be Marquez and then Nazarek. And Orlando behind that as well. Holloway will be finishing the race in P7. Definitely honorable attempt. And then we have Chris Pollicolt here, P8. Dave Thompson right behind, can't go for the overtake. Then we have Alessandro Germani. And it's just waiting for Aaron Sparks to come in. They're still fighting for P11. Aaron Sparks will be taking that. And then it's gonna afterwards be, I believe that was Nathan Warren, but once again it's screwed over. Alright, yes, there we go. Aaron Sparks, then Andy Pollicolt, Nathan Warren. Roberto Miglioli, P14. Now it's just waiting for Derek Walsh to come by. Only a couple drivers still driving. He'll be able to finish the race, well, quite alone. As we now wait for Elliot Levine to come around here. Chased down by Walker. Vitasso finished on a lap down, and so will Walker as well. There we go, Elliot Levine. Still brought it home in the end, and that's what matters. I believe that should be anybody finished, and indeed that's the case. Well, apologize for today's shit show. Definitely wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, but it's alright. Could have asked more from me. Shouldn't have done the cuts before that, but that's all on me, of course. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'm gonna play some more music and then we're gonna end it here. So I hope to see you into the next one as well. Been an absolute pleasure as always. And the next race, I'll be back. I'll be back stronger. That's what I promise. See you guys into the next one.
Dancing through the streets, we wander, falling for the fire.